I mean, there's not even an opportunity of them being here now. It's not like they are available and either this or that, they're gone. And now we'll have to do with what we have, at least the knowledge of how they would have conducted the whole process.
Okay.
If they had been there.
Kamal Hassan, what is your message to animal rights activists who might move to challenge this bill in court? What's your message to them?
Have a dialogue. Don't ban anything. Challenge it, regulate it, but don't ban anything. I mean, it's not going to work because there is a lot of hypocrisy when you say you can kill animals to eat, and you cannot ban non-vegetarian food either.
So don't be hypocritical is Kamal Hassan's message to animal rights activists. Look towards regulating this custom. That's the way forward. Let's just hope that animal rights activists hear you out, sir. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi joins us. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi representing the Animal Welfare Board in this ongoing saga, and also Sanjay Pinto, an advocate representing the other side, the government side. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, let me just ask you straight. Kamal Hassan making a very pointed intervention saying that it's hypocritical to actually call for a ban because animals are killed for food, etc. Those slaughterhouses aren't really very compassionate. So why mix up issues? Have a dialogue, challenge, by all means, yes, challenge, but challenge to regulate, not ban. Dr. Singhvi.
Well, Mr. Kamal Hassan is an icon and he's a national figure, but I think that particular formulation is oversimplistic. And I hope you'll give me my 2 minutes because there are some very, very important facets here. First of all, of course, I speak entirely in my capacity as an individual, as an animal lover and as a professional, and not for behalf of any political party. Let me make that clear. Secondly, it is precisely that which was done. It was challenged. And anybody who speaks on this should first read the detailed judgment of the Supreme Court through Justice Radhakrishnan. It gives chapter and verse, para after para, and paras of it are difficult to read, that inherently Jallicut is cruel. It is not possible to perform Jallicut event without cruelty inherent in it. It is like saying that you have an event which you can regulate, which inherently will be cruel. How can you regulate it? You have to stop it. It is not possible to prevent cruelty on it. Those are 20 paras after the Supreme Court commissioned a committee which went into it, gave a graphic report. Nobody is reading those paras. They make for barbaric reading. Number 3, it was challenged, as Mr. Kamal Hassan is rightly suggesting. The challenge led to that judgment. A review petition was filed. I appeared in the review. It was dismissed after hearing it. A notification was issued by an IA. An IA was issued, an IA was filed, further trying to reimpose the, to remove the ban or dilute the ban. That led to arguments and judgment was reserved. Now, while the judgment is reserved, clearly a new ordinance has been brought to preempt everything. Now, I understand that a legislature has the right to do it. But that's the third facet. A legislature under our Indian Constitution cannot reverse a judgment. A legislature can only at best remove the basis of a judgment,
Understood.
the underlying pillars on which the judgment stands.
Understood.
Now I want to ask myself, and through that ask your viewers, how is it possible for a legislation like this ordinance or now act of the State Assembly, even with the presidential assent, how is it possible for it to remove the basis of a judgment which has recorded that this activity is inherently cruel? And last but not the least, 10 seconds more, it is a misnomer to be oversimplistic to say you are having non-vegetarianism, you serve meat in restaurants, why ban Jallicut?
No.
The rule is, Rahul, that you cannot be cruel to animals while they are alive.
No,
even though
fair
you can
enough,
eat them.
Dr. Singhvi.
You can eat chicken, but you can't keep chicken in a cruel manner before
Well, sir,
you eat them.
I think we only have to take our cameras. I think we only have to take our cameras to some of these abattoirs, etc., and other coops and pens all across the country to see the conditions. So I think on the point of hypocrisy, perhaps Kamal Hassan has a strong point to make. But let me bring in Sanjay Pinto on this. Sanjay Pinto, Jallikattu inherently cruel, can't be regulated. What do you say about that?
It's like advocating the guillotine for dandruff. If there is domestic violence in a marital relationship, will you ban the institution of marriage? If there is betting and match fixing in the IPL, will you ban the game of cricket? I mean, what kind of fuzzy logic is this? I understand it's like the Bush doctrine that is operating here. If you're not with us, you're against us. If you're for Jallikattu, you are for cruelty to animals. Right from the pronunciation of Jallikattu, these people have got it all wrong. Please understand that prevention of cruelty to animals is in the concurrent list of the Constitution. And both the state and the centre have power to legislate. Okay. There is also, my learned senior, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi will know the M. Karunanidhi versus Union of India case, where they clearly said if both these items in the same field can operate without collision, then there is no repugnancy. So the state legislature, it's no longer an ordinance, it's a bill. By the way, just to update Dr. Singhvi, it is a bill. It will receive presidential assent. It will become an act. And please understand, the Supreme Court judgments are always, overturned. What has Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer said, the Supreme Court is final, not because it is infallible. It is infallible because it is final. And you have to evolve with the times. The people of Tamil Nadu are very clear that even if it is to come up for judicial review, that this act will stand judicial scrutiny. Because there are regulations, Rahul, as Mr. Kamal Hassan has very rightly said, there are regulations. Even the Tamil Nadu Regulation of Jallikattu Act, the Impugned Act,
at the end of the day, I just want to ask you,
Court in 2014,
is there no middle path? Dr. Singhvi, will you go to court?
Whether there are cultural rights or not under the Constitution, under Article 29(1), under Article 51AF, what are these? Why is that the judgment has been silent on the cultural rights of people? These are not just rights granted.
It's an important point, Dr. Singhvi. Quick response on that.
Why are we selectively interpreting the
inalienable cultural rights?
Dr. Singhvi?
Inalienable cultural rights. Quick response, sir. I have to wrap it up.
29(1). It's very clear.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Well, obviously there can't be a quick answer to the fusillade of words of 10 different diverse unconnected points raised by my friend. From Jallikat and cruelty to animals, we have reached cultural rights. How bizarre can we get and how far can we travel? Let us make a few things clear fundamentally. This has nothing to do with repugnancy, first of all. We are not saying repugnant or not. That is because that is the reason why presidential assent has been granted. The issue is, can a subsisting judgment of the Supreme Court be reversed without removing the basis and the pillars on which it stands? Now, anybody who has read Justice Radhakrishna's judgment knows that the pillars on which it stands are findings of fact. I didn't interrupt my friend. I hope he does me the same courtesy. Findings of fact recorded in that on committees and commissions, and then converted into a judgment saying that it is impossible to practice Jallikat without cruelty.
Okay, you made that point, but I'm asking you, Dr. Singhvi, will you,
that's the legal point.
No, will you dilute your arguments at all? Will you take a step back at all? No, Dr. Singhvi, simple question. You've heard the people's
Article 29.
No, so are you going to go ahead? 1 second. Are you going to go ahead with challenging this bill, Dr. Singhvi? Simple question.
Rahul.
No, I just want to ask you, will you go ahead with challenging the bill?
All I'm saying is, Article 29 has absolutely no connection.
Okay, fair enough.
No
I'm only asking you a question, sir.
There is nothing to do with 29.
Okay, will you be challenging this bill, sir?
It will be challenged. It should be challenged.
It will be challenged.
The point is not that
it should be challenged.
State Assembly cannot pass the act.
Okay, big breaking news.
It is nobody's case that the State Assembly can't pass the act.
Okay.
It is nobody's case that we can't challenge it.
It will be challenged.
Let the Supreme Court decide.
It will be challenged, says Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. This battle is not over. It's going to head to the courts at some stage or the other. Big breaking news here on India Upfront. There is going to be a challenge. Kamal Hassan or anyone else's advice is not going to be heeded. The Animal Welfare Board, animal rights activists will perhaps, after a period of time, go to court to challenge this bill that has been passed. Expect a long, drawn-out battle. We leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining me here on India Upfront.